The universe runs on numbers, not measurements you chose, not values you adjusted, but constants written into reality itself. The strength of gravity, the charge of the electron, the mass of fundamental particles, the speed of light. These numbers do not change, they do not drift, they simply are. And everything that exists depends on them being exactly what they are. This feels natural because you have never known anything else. But physics does not consider this natural at all. In fact, from a theoretical point of view, the existence of fixed physical constants is deeply suspicious. There is no known reason why these numbers should have the values they do. And worse, there is no known reason why they should exist as constants at all. If you change many of them even slightly, the universe collapses into something unrecognizable. Atoms fail, stars never ignite, chemistry disappears, time itself may lose coherence. The universe you inhabit sits on a knife edge, and physics does not know why. The discomfort begins when you realize that physical constants are not predictions, they are inputs. The laws of physics do not derive them, they assume them. You measure the constants and plug them into equations. The equations then work beautifully, but the values themselves come from nowhere. They are not required by logic, they are not demanded by symmetry, they are not fixed by deeper principles, at least none we currently know. This means the universe could have been different, radically different. And the fact that it is not demands an explanation that physics does not currently have. This problem is known as fine-tuning, but the name understates the severity. Fine-tuning suggests careful adjustment. The reality is closer to improbability beyond intuition. If the strength of gravity were slightly stronger, stars would burn too fast or collapse prematurely. If it were slightly weaker, stars might never form. If the electromagnetic force were altered, atoms would be unstable. If the ratios between particle masses shifted, chemistry would fail. These are not marginal effects. They are catastrophic. Life as you know it depends on a narrow corridor in a vast space of possibilities. And physics does not know why the universe sits inside that corridor. One response is to say that the constants simply are what they are. There is nothing to explain. But this response fails to satisfy because physics itself is built on explanation. When numbers appear arbitrary, physicists search for deeper reasons. Historically, many quantities once thought fundamental turned out to be emergent. The properties of materials, the behavior of gases, even aspects of atomic structure were later explained by deeper theories. This creates an expectation. If constants are unexplained, maybe they are not fundamental. Maybe they emerge from something deeper. But decades of effort have not produced a definitive answer. Another response invokes necessity. Perhaps the constants could not have been otherwise. Perhaps any universe capable of existing must have these values. But this idea struggles because we can write down mathematically consistent universes with very different constants. They may be lifeless, but they are not logically impossible. Existence does not seem to require life-friendly values. The universe does not owe us chemistry. So, necessity remains unproven. This leads to a more radical idea. Maybe the constants vary. Maybe they are not fixed everywhere. Maybe different regions of reality realize different values. In this picture, the universe is not uniform. It is a patchwork. And we find ourselves in a region where the constants happen to allow complexity, because only such regions can host observers. This is the anthropic explanation. It does not say the universe was designed for life. It says life arises only where conditions allow it. The constants appear fine-tuned because we are selecting from a vast ensemble of possibilities. This idea is unsettling because it shifts explanation into selection. It replaces why these numbers with why not others elsewhere. And it introduces something physics traditionally avoids: unobservable universes. The multiverse becomes a possible answer. But the multiverse is controversial because it challenges testability. If other universes exist but cannot be observed, can they explain anything? Some physicists accept this reluctantly, others reject it. The debate remains unresolved. There is another quieter discomfort hiding beneath all this. Physical constants do not just seem fine-tuned, they seem strangely independent. Their values do not appear tightly linked, they look random. This randomness clashes with the success of physics in finding order. When a theory works extremely well but relies on arbitrary inputs, it feels incomplete. It feels like a description, not an explanation. And this brings us back to the title. Why should physical constants exist at all? In a deeper theory, one might expect everything to follow from necessity. No free parameters, no unexplained numbers, just structure. The fact that our best theories require dozens of constants suggests we are not at the bottom yet. We are describing the behavior of reality, not its origin. If constants are emergent, then they may arise from symmetry breaking, from vacuum structure, from the geometry of extra dimensions, or from information theoretic constraints. In some theories, what looks like a constant is actually a frozen value of a dynamic field. In others, constants are statistical outcomes of deeper processes, but none of these ideas has been confirmed. The constants remain stubbornly given. This creates a tension between two visions of physics. One vision sees the universe as governed by deep necessity. Everything follows from fundamental principles. The other sees the universe as contingent. It could have been otherwise. The constants reflect historical accidents at the birth of space-time. Physics has not decided which vision is correct, and that indecision matters, because if the constants are contingent, then the universe you inhabit is not inevitable. It is one outcome among many. Its laws are not the only possible laws, and its stability is not guaranteed by necessity. It is maintained by circumstance. This echoes a theme you have seen before. Stability is not the same as inevitability. The constants feel eternal because they have not changed during your lifetime. But physics does not guarantee that they are eternal. Some theories allow slow variation over cosmic timescales. Others allow abrupt changes during phase transitions. Even if these changes never occur, the fact that physics allows them undermines the sense that the universe is locked into a single configuration. The constants sit at the intersection of law and chance. They look lawful because they are stable. They look accidental because they are unexplained. This ambiguity is deeply uncomfortable. It means the universe may not be grounded in pure reason. It may be grounded in history. And history does not have to make sense. The existence of physical constants also changes how you think about explanation itself. If the deepest facts about reality are numbers with no deeper reason, then explanation has a boundary. Physics can tell you what happens given the constants. It may never tell you why those constants exist. And that possibility is not a failure of effort. It may be a feature of reality. Not everything that exists may have a reason. Some things may simply be. This runs against a deep human instinct. We want reasons. We want necessity. We want foundations. Physical constants resist all three. They sit there, silent, supporting everything while explaining nothing. And yet, without them, nothing exists. This creates a strange inversion. The most important facts about reality may be the least understandable. The constants are not just parameters. They are the boundary of explanation. They tell us where physics stops giving answers and starts giving conditions. Whether this boundary will move remains unknown. A deeper theory may yet explain the constants, or it may explain why explanation ends. Either way, the existence of fixed physical constants is not something physics predicted. It is something physics discovered and then struggled to justify. They are there, they work, and they should not, at least not in the way we expect. The universe balances on values that have no clear reason to be what they are. And from that balance, everything you know emerges. Atoms, stars, life, thought. The constants do not care about meaning. They do not care about observers. They simply constrain what is possible. And in doing so, they reveal something unsettling. Reality may not be optimized. It may not be necessary. It may simply be one consistent way things happen to be. And you are living inside the consequences of that fact. This is Veritas Labs, where truth is tested.